Hey everyone, Kelvin Brooks here from the International Admissions and Recruitment Office at Carleton University, and today I'm going to walk you through one of our most recent workshops on reading and accepting your offer. If you're watching this video, it's assumed that at this point you have received an offer of admission from Carleton University, and I would just like to extend a huge congratulations to all of you. As a former Carleton student, I remember the excitement that came with receiving my offer of admission, and I'd really like to congratulate you all for doing so during a very difficult year. The past year, no matter where you are in the world, has likely been very challenging and quite difficult, from adjusting to online learning, learning how to navigate Zoom or Google Hangouts or Microsoft Teams, having to mute or unmute yourself, deal with disruptions in the background. This year has been unique, it's been different, and I can imagine for students it's been quite difficult. So I would like to extend a huge congratulations to you for making it through this year and, of course, receiving an offer of admissions from Carleton University. I really wanted to have a big confetti cannon go off as a huge thank you and something cool to show off in the background of this video. However, unfortunately, it wasn't in our budget and I'm still working from home, so I really didn't want to clean up all that confetti. But in the meantime, again, I just want to say congratulations to you all. The point of the workshop today is just to kind of walk you through exactly what your offer of admissions package is, what it contains, why it's so important, and of course, the next steps. Now, throughout this pre-recorded webinar, if you have any questions or concerns, please jot them down and send me an email, and I'd be happy to respond to you directly to answer whatever questions you may have. I will share all of my contact details at the end of this presentation. So let's get started. As I mentioned, if you're watching this today, it's assumed that you've received an offer of admission. If you haven't received one at this point, you can also reach out to us via email, and we will be able to provide you with more information on the status of your application and hopefully be able to give you an offer soon. But for those of you that have received it, let's begin. First of all, where can you find your offer package? The easy answer to this question is on Carleton 360. You're able to log on to your application portal, select your submitted applications, and then view and accept your offer. So, as I mentioned, you go to the Carleton 360 website, you log in using your MC1 username and your password. And one thing I would like to say on this is please make sure you have written down this username and password somewhere safe and somewhere you can reference later on. You will have to log into Carleton 360 a few more times throughout this process, so please make sure you are keeping track of this important information. We are able to reset your account if you do lose or forget your password. However, this process can take a couple of business days, and we really don't want anything to slow you down throughout this process as we get ready for registration and all of the next steps. So please keep track of that. And keep it in a very safe and easy to access location. Once you're in Carleton 360, you're going to select applications on the left-hand side. You should be very familiar with this process at this point, as this is how you've accessed your application throughout the year to see any updates that might have come from the university and from the admissions team. You're then going to select submitted, and of course, this is going to take you to your actual application, where you will now be able to see a tab that says view and accept your offer. Now, don't worry, by clicking on this tab, it will not automatically accept your offer. By clicking on this tab, it will allow you to view your offer, and we'll get into how to accept the offer in a moment. So again, just to review, log on to Carleton 360 using your username and password, select your application, select submitted, and of course, finally view and accept your offer. Now, your offer package contains a lot of very important information, and I'm going to go through some of that information step by step in these next few slides. However, I always recommend that our students read this offer package cover to cover at least twice, just to make sure you get all the information. You can also share it with your parents or guardians or a friend, just to make sure that you haven't missed anything. This offer package contains a lot of important information, and it's very important that you ensure you've read it all and understand it all. And of course, once you've read it to cover a few times, if you do have more questions, you can contact us. For my Canadian students who might be studying outside of Canada, your offer package is going to contain the 3 tabs that you see in front of you on the screen. And for my non-Canadians or international students studying outside of Canada, there is a fourth addition to the offer package, which I will get to momentarily. But for all students, the first thing you're going to see in your offer package is, of course, the formal offer of admission. This is a letter from the university congratulating you on being admitted to your degree program, and it outlines the specifics of what exactly you've been admitted to. So using the example on the screen here, you can see that this particular student has been admitted to the Bachelor of Arts Honors with a major in psychology. They are entering their first year, and they are doing so in the fall term of 2021. This is really important, as you obviously want to make sure that the program you've been admitted to is the one you've applied to. And if it's slightly different, this will be explained and further outlined in the application package. And again, if you have any questions, you can reach out to us. You may also see the co-op distinction listed in this section as well if you've selected co-op. If you haven't selected co-op and you wish to add it to your application, you can email us and we can do this for you if it is available. But this is the first page you're going to see in your offer package, and it contains, again, a lot of very important information as well as the conditions that may be attached with your offer. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment's time. The second page you'll see is the entrance scholarship if you've qualified for one. Carleton University has very generous entrance scholarships ranging anywhere from 1,000 to 4,000 Canadian dollars per year off tuition for up to 4 years. So you can see here that this student qualified for a total of 4,000 Canadian dollars, and you can see that it's 1,000 in their first year. Now, this means that they qualified for the lowest rung of the entrance scholarships that we offer, and they're guaranteed $1,000 in their first year. If the student or any student is able to maintain an A- average during their first year, they're then able to renew this entrance scholarship for their second year. So they would earn an additional $1,000 off in their second year, and so on until the fourth year. Now, when I was in first year, I'll admit, a little website called Netflix had just kind of come out, and I watched a little bit too much of it, and my grades might not have met the A- average. Don't tell my parents that. But what happened was, in that case, I unfortunately did not renew my scholarship for second year. So I had my entrance scholarship for first year, didn't meet the A- for going into second year, and then lost it during my second year. However, during the second year, when I didn't have that scholarship anymore, I was able to get my grades back above the A- threshold and was able to earn back my entrance scholarship in my third year. So these entrance scholarships are regainable. Just keep that in mind. So again, in this particular situation, the student has earned $1,000 off tuition in their first year and can renew that each year at an A- average. The third most important piece is, of course, the offer of residence. Now, this is reserved for high school students who have applied to Carleton. If you are a post-secondary student who's looking to transfer to Carleton from another university or college, this offer of residence is not included in your offer package. But for my high school students, if you've received an offer before the 15th of May, you will have also received an offer of residence. This guarantees you a room in Carleton University's residence buildings. What's important to understand is that it guarantees you a double room where you have a roommate. Carleton does have two other styles of room, a single and a suite, and these ones are available for students, but they are allocated on a lottery basis. When you accept your offer of residence, you'll fill out what's called your residence information form. This is a comprehensive survey that asks you questions about your sleep and study habits and other personal questions that might be relevant to living with someone in your first year. And that's how they kind of pair you with your roommate. But when you fill out this survey, you're also able to rank your preference of residence. So whether you want single, then suite, then double, or suite, then single, then double, or whatever you'd like, you can rank it. And then the lottery happens. And if you win the lottery, you get your first choice of room. And if you don't win the lottery, then you get the guaranteed double room. If you wish to accept this offer of residence, I'm going to go over the steps on how to do so later on in this presentation. But just know that if you're a high school student, receiving an offer before May 15th, you do have a guaranteed offer of residence, and all the information on what that means can be found within the offer package. Now, for my non-Canadians or my international students studying outside of Canada, you will have to apply for a study permit. In your offer package, there is what's called a visa letter. This is a letter from the university, from Carleton, given to you to submit alongside your study permit application. This letter proves to a Canadian visa officer that you have been admitted to Carleton for a degree program and are in fact coming to Carleton to begin your studies. The visa letter is given to you in your offer package. You are able to use it with your study permit application to prove the legitimacy of your studies. And we strongly encourage you to submit your study permit application as soon as possible after receiving this visa letter. The reason we do recommend this so strongly is because, unfortunately, the study permit processing times can be a little delayed, especially with COVID, and we want to make sure that you're getting your study permit within a timely manner. So as soon as you receive the offer package, as soon as you receive this visa letter, submit the study permit application, submit the visa letter alongside it, and follow up with your local Canadian embassy or consulate on the whole process, as this way they'll be able to get things through faster. Now, I am not a licensed immigration advisor, so there's not a lot of information that I can personally give you about the study permit application process. However, Carleton University does have a few licensed immigration advisors on staff who'd be more than happy to assist you with any questions you may have regarding the study permit process. So if you wish to be put in contact with these advisors, you can reach out to me in my office and we can put you in touch, or you can email them at isso@carleton.ca. That's our International Student Services Office, so isso@carleton.ca, and they'll be able to answer any further questions you may have about the visa letter and the next steps. Now, included in this offer package is more information on how you can maintain and retain your offer. Retain essentially just means keep your offer and ensure that you meet the necessary conditions. Any offer that you receive if you're a current high school student is conditional, and those conditions are generally based around your final high school grades. So when you've received an offer of admission, we will tell you generally what grades you need to maintain from your final exams or your final results in order to retain or keep your offer. Now, the reality is, within the international education community, there are quite a few curriculums, and some of the curriculums are very different in terms of how you are graded, how you receive grades, what scale you're graded on, what the pass-fail rate is, whether you receive letter grades or number grades, or in the case of my WIAC students, number and letter grades. There's a lot of differences between the international curriculums and the grade scales. So what's important to understand is that if you are not able to find specific information on your particular grading scale and what grades you need to maintain in order to retain your offer, please email us. We'd be more than happy to provide you with this information. For my IB or A-level students, this information is included in your offer package. For any student that receives percentages as grades and has a pass-fail rate at 50%, you can usually reference the grades that are on our website already. But if you find yourself in a different situation, such as, say, a CBSE student or a WIAC student, or maybe some national curriculums that have different grading scales, please reach out to us and we'd be more than happy to tell you what grades you need to keep in your final exams in order to retain your offer. Now, how can you accept this offer? So this is a very important step. You've applied to Carleton University, you've submitted all the documents, you've tracked your application, you've received your offer package. You've read it front to back several times and you understand everything that's required of you in order to keep that offer, and you've applied for your study permit, hopefully. So now how can you accept this offer? Well, it depends on how you applied. So the first step, of course, review your offer. We've covered that. I think I've said that enough. The next step is, again, how to formally accept it. as an international student, there were two different ways for you to apply to Carleton. You could have applied through OUAC, or the Ontario University Application Centre, or you could have applied directly through Carleton 360. If you are one of the students who applied directly through Carleton 360, you can accept your offer package on the Carleton 360 website where I've shown you previously. You can accept it right there. It's a couple clicks, very straightforward. And before you know it, you've officially accepted your offer. If you are a student who has applied through OUAC, even though you're able to view your offer package on Carleton 360, you do have to accept the offer of admission through OUAC. You can log into your OUAC portal and view the offer there. And the OUAC website has a lot of great video resources on how to accept your offer. You can view the videos. It takes you through step by step. I've done it myself. It's very simple and straightforward. So if you've applied through OUAC, you accept your offer of admission through OUAC. If you've applied through Carleton 360, you can accept directly through Carleton 360. And if you have any more questions about that, please let me know. And of course, the final step is to celebrate. Take a deep breath, relax, be excited, look forward to it, celebrate, pat yourself on the back, give yourself a huge round of applause. This is a huge accomplishment, and take time to recognize that. That's something that's very, very important, especially during this pandemic. Now, in terms of dates to accept your offer, the date is technically May 1st for most of my international students, or if you received your offer in late April, it's usually about 3 weeks from the date you've received your offer. This date is outlined in your offer package. If for whatever reason you haven't accepted your offer package at this point, don't worry. As long as the offer package is still visible, you can still accept the offer. We're not just going to take it away from you, swipe it away from you. Sorry, that's what I was trying to say. We're not just going to take it away from you out of the blue. Because it's COVID, because we understand that, there are some areas of the world that are experiencing things a little more difficult than others right now. We don't want to just withdraw your offer right away. We do want to give you a little bit of time and leeway, and we do understand that there are some difficult times going on right now for certain pockets of the world. So just keep in mind that if it's past May 1st at this point and you still have your offer package available and you're still able to accept it, go ahead, accept it. Your spot is still reserved. That's fine. If you log into your portal and it says offer withdrawn or offer expired, get in contact with us and we'll be able to investigate what may have happened and hopefully reissue you an offer for that program. But just keep in mind that if it's beyond May 1st and you haven't accepted your offer yet, but the offer is still visible, you can accept it and we will honor it. Don't worry. And again, if it says expired or withdrawn, get in contact with us and we will happily assist you throughout the rest of the process. Now, this is a very important slide for anyone that wishes to live in residence on Carleton's campus. For all my high school students with an offer before May 15th, that have received the offer of residence, this is very important. Once you accept your offer of admission, you can go in and accept your offer of residence if you wish to live on campus. When you accept this offer of residence, you'll fill out that comprehensive residence information form or survey that I told you about earlier in this presentation. And you will also have to pay a $700 Canadian dollar deposit to secure your spot in residence. This is the only deposit that's due before you begin your studies, and it's only due so you can guarantee your spot in residence. Now, obviously with the pandemic and the COVID-19 situation and how it's always changing, we are very lenient on the refunding of deposits. Also in regards to study permit processing and maybe the inability to obtain one at this time, we understand, we totally get it. So if you do pay this deposit and then for whatever reason due to COVID lockdowns or for study permit issues you're not able to come, there are options available to refund this deposit. So don't worry, you're not necessarily lost or stuck with losing this money. Just keep in mind that again, you do have to pay the deposit in order to guarantee your spot. And you must accept your offer of residence and pay the deposit by June 8th at 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. Now, I would strongly encourage you to accept it a couple days beforehand, only because at June 8th at 4:25 p.m., you'd be amazed at the number of students that email us and try to get a hold of us. And sometimes the system might go down because it's overwhelmed. So just ensure that you have given yourself a couple days. But again, you have to accept that offer of residence by the 8th of June at 4:30 p.m. And if you have any questions about that, reach out. Now, we've covered a lot of very important information, and luckily this is a pre-recorded webinar, so if you've missed anything, you can go back and listen to it again. But I'd also like to just briefly talk about some of the next steps that will take place after you've accepted your offer of admission. So congratulations, you're officially a Carleton University student. You're officially a Raven now. And there's some pretty cool things coming up that we like to promote and some very important things that you need to know about. So the first one is, of course, registration and course selection. This occurs during the first few weeks of June, and more information on course selection will be sent to you within the coming weeks. Usually by mid to late May, you'll have full information on the course registration process. So please make sure you're monitoring your email for more information on that, as registration is very important. Once you're registered, we'd also like you to consider orientation. For my international students, our ISSO office, the International Student Services Office, runs an international student orientation during the first week of school, where you're able to meet additional international students and connect with the International Student Services Office to learn more about everything that they offer. They're a great resource on campus, and they really do a lot for our international students. So I'd highly recommend their international orientation. And then we also have a general fall orientation that takes place after the international one for all Carleton students, whether they're Canadian or non-Canadian. And I would definitely recommend this, as it's a great way to get familiar with the Carleton community, your specific degree program, the Greater Ottawa area. I was involved in fall orientation for 4 years. I loved every single minute of it. It was so much fun just to see new students come in and experience everything Carleton had to offer. So I definitely encourage you to get involved with that. We do also still have some upcoming events as well. You can reference these on our website, which I'll show you in a moment, and you can come on and connect with myself and my colleagues as we walk you through other important information that might be relevant to the situation you find yourself in right now. And of course, if you're not looking to communicate via email, you can always book a one-on-one appointment with myself or my colleagues. We'd be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. And the booking link can be found on our website. We definitely look forward to connecting one-on-one with all of our international students. So if you have questions that maybe you don't want to type out or can't word through email, you can certainly book an appointment with us and we can connect one-on-one. And as promised, here is all of our contact information. So our main website at the top, the 360 website, which I hope you're familiar with at this point, our generic international inbox email, as well as my personal inbox email should you need to get a hold of me. We also have our socials on there as well, Instagram and Facebook. We post a lot of updates. I'd also encourage you to check out YouTube. You might be watching this video on there right now. And if you're not, there's over 1,500 different YouTube videos that are posted on the Carleton University channel, where you can learn a lot about our campus, our community, our professors, our students, the research we do, and so much more. I'd also like to take this time to promote some events that I'm doing over the summer, where I'm doing our virtual tours for international students. So these are occurring once a week, and you can book time slots with me where I sit down with you and a group of international students and walk you through our international virtual tour. As a former student and a former campus tour guide, I really enjoy showing students around the campus. And unfortunately, with the pandemic, you're not able to join me in person on campus. So you can join me from the comfort and safety of your home as I walk you through every inch of our campus. I'm obviously a little biased when I say this, but I think Carleton has one of the most beautiful campuses in Canada. The overhead shots of our campus are absolutely breathtaking and really show off the beauty that the Riverside campus has. but it's also nice to get familiar with the other areas of campus too. And that's what this virtual tour is all about. So you can check out the events calendar on our events website on the admissions page, and you can certainly look to book an international virtual tour with myself. So that wraps things up for today. I know this workshop has covered, a lot of important things. There's been a lot of information thrown at you. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at any time, and we'd be more than happy to assist. Again, congratulations on making it this far. Congratulations on receiving an offer of admission. We hope you'll choose to accept it, and we hope to connect with you in person on campus soon. So thank you so much for joining, everyone, and I will see you soon. Have a great day.